Welcome back to Good Game Edmonton. I'm your host, Cory Seller, and this is the quarterly update where we take stock of what's been happening across Alberta's interactive digital media ecosystem. This quarter, we've got studio launches, console ports, a youth esports league kicking off, and GDC field reports as studios look to reach the international stage. Joining me today for this quarterly roundup in collaboration with Digital Alberta are none other than a classic industry vet, Jennifer LaFace, co-founder and creative director at Edmonton's own Only by Midnight, and board director at Digital Alberta. Jen, thanks for taking the time to joining me today. How you doing?
Cory, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be on as part of Digital Alberta and happy to answer questions and get some good discussions going.
Love it. Well, let's kick it off with Edmonton. Turning to the news here. To start off, we got Sovereign Syndicate, the steampunk CRPG from Edmonton's Crimson Herring Studios, launched on Xbox and PlayStation in February under Calgary publisher Zoogaloo Entertainment. Plus, a fully voiced director's cut is in development as a free upgrade for existing owners. The Rapid Haul demo launched on Steam in mid-March. The Cozy Tower defense farming game by Caldera Interactive has players rebuilding a rabbit town devastated by raccoons known as the Trash Panda Posse. The studio is seeking a publisher or additional funding ahead of its planned 2026 launch on PC and Nintendo Switch. vrCAVE stepped outside location-based VR for the first time, unveiling Heroes Together VR, a 4-player roguelite dungeon crawler for MetaQuest 3 and Steam under new sub-brand Basement Bunker Labs. Alpha signups are open following a public playtest at Edmonton Unlimited, which, by the way, I was thrilled to attend. Though I did scream during Hospital of Horror playtests. That was not fun. But anyway, all in all, great experience. Inflection Games added crossplay to Nightingale on its second early access birthday. Other notable updates included an 80% off sale, hired new staff recently, and is currently working on 2 unannounced games. Even as CEO Aaron Flynn admitted the game hasn't been, quote, commercially successful enough, but affirmed that Nightingale still has a future at the studio. Beamdog dropped a surprise 2.7 beta for Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and Icewind Dale Enhanced Editions in late February, nearly 15 years after launch, adding Apple Silicon support, cloud saves, and new community localizations. Plus, an update for Planescape, Torment Enhanced Edition, is also in the pipeline. NorQuest Esports launched Campus Clash 2026, Edmonton's youth esports league for ages 13 to 18, on February 1st, with weekly in-person play at its esports facility on campus. And the next Mass Effect may be entering pre-production. EA posted a senior dev role, and ex-BioWare EP Mark Dara says 100% of what they're working on right now is Mass Effect, as BioWare might be going single project mode after Dragon Age the Velguard's underperformance. Lots on the Edmonton front, Jen. Yeah, curious to take a quick moment here to reflect on some of those headlines, and also anything happening on the Only by Midnight side for yourself and the team.
Well, there's a lot going on in Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
That's exciting for Isaac's team. Only by Midnight did the porting for Sovereign Syndicate.
Okay.
So
Nice.
they're reaching a new audience with like PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
The Caldera Interactive, they're a great group. Isael, Macau. I hope their demo gets like lots of plays. They get lots of attention from that. We're all playing the Steam game as well, so that's important too.
Yeah.
Just a lot happening in Edmonton, and yeah, there's always more. There's always all these little gems to find out as well.
Yeah.
I know Game Camp Edmonton. From what I heard, their last meeting was game demos. The community's coming out. People are playing. People are giving feedback. That's the one thing about Edmonton. I've been in different communities, from like video games to sci-fi and fantasy. People come out and people support each other.
It's a fun new format for Game Camp, actually. So that was definitely something new that I'm hoping to check out at a future Game Camp event. I guess looking back on Only by Midnight, anything else that's been happening for you and the team in the last few months, or just kicking off the new year?
I'll say kicking off the new year, we've entered production through CMF funding
Right.
last year. So we're
Yes.
working on our supernatural murder mystery. Stay tuned on that.
Ooh, exciting.
There'll be announced more. Check out our socials. We've also just some other projects on the way too, some other client work. I'll keep that under wraps for now, but it is exciting times. We're keeping to move forward, and
I love it. No, that's great. Well, looking forward to more updates as they come down the pipeline. Well, heading down the QE2, we got a $2 million provincial investment, turning repetitive stroke rehab into an engaging game. Backed by Alberta Innovates and the Glenrose Hospital Foundation, Red Iron Labs platform lets clinicians remotely prescribe and adjust gamified exercises for motor recovery, speech, and cognition. Patients complete guided therapy at home through immersive VR visuals, helping them stay engaged and improve outcomes. Calgary studio DragonSpire Games released Boyfiend and Ghoulfriend. Their hauntingly romantic co-op puzzle platformer dropped February 13th, putting players in control of a fire-wielding boyfiend and grave-digging ghoulfriend as they work together to solve puzzles across 15 handcrafted stages. The Calgary Game Developers Association launched the CGDA masterclass. It's an every other month series at Platform Calgary, where industry professionals lead focused sessions on a specific area of game development and give critical feedback on attendee projects. Similarities I see with Game Camp up in Edmonton, so that's good. Zooming out for a provincial look, we have GameCon Canada returning for its biggest year yet, now alongside the inaugural North American Games Industry Summit on June 18th to 19th. The two-day precursor before GCC is a purpose-built B2B summit bringing studios, publishers, investors, and tech partners to Edmonton for deal-making and curated programming. To kick things off, attendees will hear from Atari co-founder Nolan Bushnell as opening keynote. Stay tuned for an event preview right here on Good Game Edmonton. The High Level Innovation Conference returns to Lethbridge, Alberta on May 1st and 2nd for its third year. The two-day event at the Lethbridge Trade and Convention Center brings together entrepreneurs, investors, and families for keynotes, tech exhibitions, esports tournaments, and a BIPOC arts and culture showcase. And Alberta's Global Game Jam 2026 brought nearly 200 jammers across Edmonton, Calgary, Lethbridge over the January 30th to February 1st weekend, producing nearly 46 games combined on the theme Mask. St. Albert's Sword Monkey Studios and Datadyne have dropped the Forge of the Fae alpha during Steam's turn-based Thursday Fest. Backers can now redeem their Steam keys to access roughly 10 hours of gameplay with a new trailer live on IGN.
Forge of the Fae, coming 2027. Wishlist on Steam.
Red Deer hosted its first ever Central Alberta Nerd Expo on February 21st to 22nd at Red Deer Polytechnic, drawing thousands and marking a new gaming pop culture community hub in Central Alberta. And well, Alberta showed up with a presence at the 2026 Game Developers Conference in San Francisco in March. Team Alberta included Edmonton Screen, Calgary Economic Development, Digital Alberta, and the Canadian Interactive Alliance, attending alongside studios like vrCAVE, Fortress Games, Cozy Comet, and all taking meetings, walking the floor, occupying booth space, and sitting in on talks at North America's largest game developer conference. Whew. Lots going on there. Jen, I know obviously being on the Digital Alberta board, I feel like, was there any specific colleagues of yours that attended GDC on behalf of Digital Alberta? I think we talked before the recording, didn't get a chance to go down yourself for either DA or Only by Midnight, but any update that you're able to share on that front, or just past experience at GDC or other conferences alike?
What I've heard from some members on the board and others is that it's always nice to go down and be like, oh, hey, there's someone else from Alberta. There's someone else from Edmonton here. I know Travis on the Digital Alberta board with Keyword Studios and Snowden Games. He attended. It's always, we've sent other people too with Only by Midnight. And it's always a frenzy is the way to describe it. You're trying to get out there, you're meeting people,
Yeah.
and you're networking, and then there's the event itself, there's the after parties. At Only by Midnight, we've done pitches, and we're always grateful to be invited. The Trade Commissioner Services in previous years have brought in different Canadian studios. They've had coaching through Pierre Moisen, and it's such a great opportunity to go there and to network. I know that it's changed from last year, and I'm
Yeah.
curious to learn more about it myself too.
Nice. Based off of your past experience and everything, what's been sort of the takeaways that studios like Only by Midnight have taken advantage of going down to GDC? Obviously, each conference is different. Things evolve over time. Things change. Turnout, booth experience, sign-ups, wish listing.
I think one of the most important things with going to GDC or other events, it's the networking. It's going and it's reaching out. You have a chance to meet investors, you have a chance to meet publishers, and to have that conversation and kind of that face-to-face meeting. A lot of it's digital, a lot of it's sending an inquiry by email, but here's your chance to meet them, to talk to them, and to get to know them as well.
From a Team Alberta standpoint, talk about that importance of having kind of Team Alberta collectively when you're being either a part of that in a studio capacity or Digital Alberta capacity, but based off of your experience and continuing to go down to GDC, talk about that importance of what that means for not only studios and other stakeholders, but just from a Alberta level. What does that really mean when we're coming down to GDC and showing up on behalf of the province and the community?
It's a really good question. Well, coming as a community, it shows Alberta, we have the development, we have the talent. we have the businesses, we have the operations, and going in and showing, hey, we're a united front. And we also there's team ups with other provinces. I know with Digital Alberta, we have members who are part of the kayak board, and being able to go together as that Canadian front, but also that Alberta front, it just showcases that there is talent here. There is opportunity to invest in the province and also in Canada.
I love that. Love that. Any firsthand stories in the past that you're able to share that was memorable, that kind of has stuck with you as part of the ongoing journey as a studio co-founder?
Do you mean in like the GDC or just attending different events context?
GDC or just any other events that would likely be a headline on a update like this? Yeah.
We went to Gamescom in 2024.
Okay.
Support from Edmonton Screen, absolutely grateful. Thank you to the team. Big support from Andy. It was a great experience. We demoed our game. We got to know some of the other studios, which includes Caldera, and just having the people come in and play it because it's more of like a B2C, and just seeing how they play.
Yeah.
This is for Control Alt Deal, so you're playing as an AI trying to escape the dystopian corporation that made you through
Yeah.
hijinks and doing favors. And just watching people play, watching people from like different countries come in and play and make decisions. It was just an opportunity to see, how do players engage with it? And
Right.
then the other opportunities too, they've got like I think the Trade Commission services or I'm not entirely sure which one, but with the Canadian federal government,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
representatives there. There's presentations. There's kind of like a business space, and it's always nice to go in there and network. And you'll get to meet people who you're doing business with them or you know about them, but you're like, oh, you are real. You are a person. I've traveled halfway across the world to see you and meet you.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. As a studio founder, is what's sort of that mindset to take, into a conference like that, knowing that, you know, you're coming in as a group, but at the same time you're trying really hard to get some good leads for your studio, for your business, but ensuring that everyone is sort of helping each other and succeeding to kind of help be part of that Team Alberta, Team Canada, because obviously we're all kind of in this together. It sounds cliche, but I mean, it is true when you leave the national borders. But yeah, curious to get your take if there's ever been that firsthand feeling of like, you know, are we meant to be here? Like, has that ever come across? Like, I don't know. Like, as not being a studio founder myself.
Start by saying it doesn't happen overnight. The
Oh yeah,
confidence.
for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the more you do it and the more and it's your perspective and how you frame it. If you go in within like an open mind to go in, hey, I'm going to go and talk to people, meet with people,
Yeah.
and I'm going to kind of bring this back to the Alberta ecosystem. There's like Game Camp Edmonton, there's the Calgary group, there's Scaffold. I've participated in several of these, and they do that prep work of making you ready to go to these bigger events. So as you get more into it and you learn, they do bring in guests, but it's also getting to know the community. So you're kind of building that. And I've taken that confidence when I've showed up. And a lot of these people I've met before, even like virtually, like I've only ever met them over the computer. Taking that, it gives me more confidence. And there's always knowing, how much like there'll always be discomfort, those have those emotions, but it's what you do with that and how you go, hey, I might feel this, I might have this emotion, but you know what, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to learn, I'm going to talk to other people. And the other thing too, and this is something that I like to have with my studio only by midnight and for myself, is I want to lift people up. If there's like, hey, you and you guys should meet, I'm always happy to do that. I think being able to go, hey, I found this marketing service, or hey, what do you think about that? Having those conversations. I know with Gamescom in Germany, we'd all
Yeah.
go out after dinner and chat and kind of, hey, this is what happened. How are you doing? And it's like those bonding, those moments really make it.
No, 100%. 100%. Yeah. You talk about kind of making new connections, introducing people. I kind of felt that because I know I'd met you finally in person. I as I recall,
At Edmonton Screen,
at the
Christmas
Edmonton
party.
Screen year-end holiday party on White Ave. So that was really fun. And yeah, just again, meeting a few new people, meeting some virtual connections in person for the first time.
You are real.
You are real. I'm a real person. I'm not an AI. I forget who I told this to. I think it was maybe Ronnie from Edmonton Screen, but that event, just from personal experience, that event at the year end get together, I really felt part of the community at that event.
Yeah.
I really did. You know, it was still, you know, intimidating because I'm trying to come up to some of you, and you know, obviously I don't run my own studio. I'm not building a game. So already I'm sort of trying to figure out my way in as far as what's my relevance there. But at the same time, it felt very sense of belonging. I managed to chat with a lot of you there, and providing why I'm there with this show that I'm doing, that was my in, and it felt really good to be able to talk about that. I saw some familiar faces like Trent from Beamdog and a few other folks, but you know, recognizing you at a table, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go sit by Jen, because I know Jen.
I should just segue in here. Open invitation. If you see me, I love coffee. I was gonna connect to, you know, if you're in Gamescom, beer is a big thing there. I like my Fanta. I'm just going to be honest there. Just don't tell anyone. But yeah, come connect
This
with
is
me.
being recorded, but
Don't tell anybody.
okay.
But yeah, come meet with me. I love a coffee. I like to chat. And yeah, no, it's in the Edmonton Screen. That was an excellent event. I saw people I wasn't expecting there. I'm like, hey, it's the principal of my, you know, child's school. Wow, his partner does film. I'm like, wow, that's such a small world.
Love it.
And I kind of goes back to what we were discussing before. Go out and meet people. It's outside the comfort zone, but the more you do it, the more it becomes, you get comfortable with it. Whether or not it's natural,
Yeah.
does that really matter? You get comfortable, you get to meet, and you get to learn something from others too. And it's that connection that makes it.
100%. Looking ahead to Q2 over the course of April, May, and June of 2026, anything on the radar that, you know, you'd like to bring up, Jen, from either a Digital Alberta side or Only by Midnight? Obviously, we talked about Only by Midnight a little bit earlier, but anything on the radar that folks in the Alberta community should be paying attention to, or at least looking out for in the coming months?
There's always lots going on. I'm certain I won't say everything, or I'll learn new things too. I know with Digital Alberta, there's like we've got members on the board with Kayak. There's advocacy continues on a provincial and federal level. Stay tuned for updates on the Q2 and beyond. We're looking at having for Digital Alberta a community dialogue. We want to bring people like in and hear from the membership, seeing how we can engage with the membership and what the membership, and even people outside the membership who'd be interested. We want to hear from you. It's myself and other members. I'll maybe drop you my Digital Alberta email. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you just to see what everyone's thoughts are, because I know there's a lot going on and there's a lot of different perspectives. And yeah, the open invitation.
Awesome. So kind of similar to a virtual town hall or that kind of thing?
We're looking at that as we solidify details. So before I say anything...
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We're looking at cross-provincially, and we'll have more details. So look at our socials or reach out to me.
Sounds good. Anything else on the Digital Alberta front, or is that's pretty much it for now? It is a volunteer board after all, so you got definitely trying to do as much as you can on the side of your desks outside of your day jobs. But
I'm going to make a shout out to the team here. There's a lot of activity, people attending events, learning about what's happening in the industry, people working behind the scenes on the board. Just grateful to have these people on the Digital Alberta board team.
100%. Well, I know it's kind of in that middle phase, because obviously we're recording this just near the end of March here of 2026. So, you know, last year, Alberta Game Series, which It's coming up fairly soon in the fall of this year. This time expected to be in Calgary, I believe, in Edmonton last year. I want to say I saw you at AGS, but now that it's been so long now, it feels I can't remember. I have a memory of a goldfish.
It's all good. I was probably weaving inside and out of the meeting space because I know it was at Edmonton
Unlimited and Amy.
Then Amy, and then the fire alarm went off.
Oh yes, the classic fire alarm. Travis and I went over that one. That was fun.
We went to Edmonton Unlimited and grabbed. There's some snacks there. Another event that I knew someone running. I'm like, oh, let's grab some snacks. So that was great.
Yeah, I guess before we wrap, is there anything else we may have missed, Jen, that you'd love to bring up at this point?
I just wanted to mention that Mike McCready is the president of the Applied AI Association for I believe it's the Alberta or the Edmonton chapter, which is exciting times. Just again for Digital Alberta, we're going to have that community dialogue. Reach out to us. We want to hear from within the ecosystem, people who are members, people who are maybe not members now. We want to hear from you. Come talk to us. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I know there's always more. I know that there's GameCon Canada is happening, and I think NAGIS is part of that too, so that will be exciting. I've enjoyed GameCon Canada. When we've attended, we've had booths, we've had people come by. That's been a great experience. And with that, I think they're bringing in publishers and investors to the Edmonton community, but also it's much easier traveling, like if you're coming from Calgary or somewhere else. It makes it more accessible and showcases Alberta studios.
And it's definitely an event on my list to see if I can make it out. As I had alluded to earlier in my Edmonton updates, really excited that to have a kind of a precursor episode for NAGIS and GCC very soon. We got it booked in April as we record this. It's just near the end of March, but another future episode to stay tuned for a bit of a preview of this year's festivities. And just curious to dig in more as to why now, what's it all about, what can people expect. And
the excitement never ends. And then one other thing too is it looks like CMF is going to announce, I believe there's a press release on March 18th. They talked about a couple different programs. One of them was on developing talent, so that had to do with technical, but also business, and then one for organizations as well. And they did put on a date, if I recall, sometime in April. They're going to open up applications again. I can go into just some differences from last year that we saw.
Yeah. Let's talk about CMF when it comes to funding opportunities out there right now.
Change that we saw last year was that prototyping had only one intake, which was in September. So we applied for production in, I think, April, May. It changes every year, so I'm trying to remember the dates. April, May. We did receive it for our current project that we're working on. And then we'll have to see what happens this year when the deadline opens. I'm trying to recall. I don't recall any other changes to update on. I know that there's other funding too. There's funding with Creative Export Canada, Can Export. In Alberta, we have AEP, Edmonton Screen, and other ones as well.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be able to share those links in the show notes for this episode. But I think we can call it a wrap for this quarterly update.
And thanks for having me on the podcast. Happy to come back if
absolutely.
Here again. And and just I've got a plug. Oh, and a couple more plugs if you don't mind.
Yes, please. Yes, I'll open the floor for additional plugs here, Jen. I'm all ears.
For the listeners, we're looking to hear from the ecosystem, from members of that for our community dialogue for Digital Alberta. Reach out to me. And then I have to plug Only by Midnight. Our game Control Alt Deal, you play as a AI trying to escape the dystopian corporation that made you through wheeling and dealing. It's a strategy game set in a simulation. It's available on Steam, Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation. Come check us out. And thanks for listening.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jen. Really appreciate that. Again, thanks for your time on another quarterly update on Good Game Edmonton. And of course, thanks to Digital Alberta for this ongoing partnership. These are so much fun to do. And glad to have the chance finally to get you on the show here, Jen. And yes, definitely, I don't imagine this will be the last time you'll be on. Looking forward to having you on future episodes, future discussions on other topics. Obviously, AI is a hot button issue every other day. And, we could talk about funding opportunities as well as we go forward here. But yeah, looking forward to having you back on. I really appreciate you taking the time, Jen. Thank you so much. And of course, to everyone else listening, watching, if you got a story lead, studio update, or a new trailer to share, we'd love to feature it in our next quarterly roundup. You can send me the details by heading over to goodgameyeg.ca. And you can also message me on LinkedIn or Instagram at the handle SellerCast. And if you enjoyed this episode with Jen, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. SellerCast out.